Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we're going to be talking about your personal year number. This is your numerology, your personal year number. We get a new number every single year that we are going into, and basically what it is your numerology, so the basic number that's ruling over that year for you. I'm going to show you guys how to calculate it in a moment, but essentially this is going to show the overarching overall energy of that year for you, and this is a personal number for you. There's 9 different cycles we go through. It's a 9-year cycle. There is also master number 11, which I'll talk about more near the end of the video. That does come up once in a while, and I'll show you guys how to find if that's coming up for you this year, or when it does sort of come up, I'll show you how to calculate that and how to look at that. But essentially there's 9 different cycles. There's a 9-year cycle that we all go through, and when you calculate this number, you'll get either number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, or sometimes 11. But basically these 9-year cycles show us what sort of phase that we're in our life that year, what certain lessons we're going to be facing, what certain challenges are going to be coming up in our lives. And in knowing this, we can then prepare, we can better prepare for, the energies that we're going to be facing that year, so we can understand them more and we can have the best year possible, and we can make the most of it by understanding what cycle that we're in, what part of the cycle that we are in. So with that being said, I also want to mention, just because you're in a certain cycle, say you're in like a number 8 year, which is very much success focused, more career focused, things like that, and let's say you want to really attract love, you can still do that regardless of the year number that you're in. So I don't want you guys to feel like you are trapped within a certain period and that's all you can focus on that year. That doesn't mean that. We also have so much else going on in our astrology, so much else going on elsewhere, and we also have free will. So if you desire to find a relationship, even if you're not in a numerological relationship year, you can still do that. So I don't want you guys to feel like you're bound to this and this is the only thing that you should be focusing on. This is just the overall energy that will kind of be affecting your year for you, and the overall major lessons that you'll be facing and the events that are most likely going to come up this year. So I just want you guys to know that, but you can still go off and do whatever you want. Other than that, I don't want you guys to feel like this is limiting and that it's going to trap you, because it's not going to. Okay, this is just the major energies of this year, but you can still do whatever you want regardless of the energies that you are in. But this just helps us see kind of our mental energy that year, the spiritual energy going on, all the stuff. So I hope you guys are excited for this video. And with all that being said, let's just hop right into it, starting now. Also, it's getting very bright in this room. I'm sorry if I get washed out at some point, but the way that you calculate your personal year number with numerology is you take the day of your birth, then you take the month of your birth, and then you take the current year that we are in, or whatever year that you want to look into. So you can even look into the future, or you can look into the past, but you do not want to use your year of birth unless that's the year that you want to look into and what your numerology was. But that is also known as your life path number. So we're not going to be looking at your life path number. We're going to be looking at your personal year number, which is the number that is going to be overall affecting your energy that year, right? So again, you're going to take the day of your birth, the month of your birth, and the year that you want to calculate for. So for example, we're going into 2022 right now. As I'm filming this video, we're approaching 2022. And so if I wanted to know my personal year number for the year of 2022, I would take my day of birth, which is the 8th day. Then I would take the month of my birth, which is June, which is the 6th month. So I would take 8 and 6, and then 2022 to calculate what my overall personal year number would be for the year of 2022. And then I would see what that number is. So I would add in all these numbers. So I'd add 6, 8, 2, 2, 2, because it's the year 2022, right? You can forget about the zeros. They don't really matter. They don't affect the overall number. But essentially, you're going to take 6, 8, 2, 2, 2, which is what I would do to find out my year. And then you add that all up. And so essentially, when I add all of those up, I get the number 20. And what you want to do is you want to single this down into a single digit, okay? So for me, you would take the number 2 and the number 0 and add those together, which obviously equals 2. So my personal year number is going to be 2 for this next year of 2022, which is very interesting because there's just a lot of 2s going on. But yeah, so for my personal year number, I would be going through a number 2 cycle this year, and that would be my personal year number for the year of 2022. But this is how you calculate your personal year number. And again, you could look on whatever year. So if you want to look into the future, like, oh, what number am I going to be going through in the year of 2030? You know, if you want to look into your future like that. So you can look into your future in this way. And of course, it is very consecutive. For me, since I'm in a 2-year, in this next year of 2022, since I'll be going through a 2-year, that means in the year of 2023, I'm going to be going through a 3-year because it moves up 1 number each year. And then it goes down and repeats the cycle. So once you get to a year number 9, it'll go back down all the way into a number 1 on that next year. Although occasionally you will get a number 11. And I will also be telling you guys what that means later on in this video. But once in a while, if it does break down to the number 11, that is also a very special year number. You wouldn't take that and calculate that into a number 2, you wouldn't break it down again. So if it's a repeating number like number 11, that is a master number, and that means something as well. So if you get that number, that means you're going through an 11 year. And so for example, just to show you guys a master year number 11, let's pretend that your birthday is January 4th and you're wanting to calculate your personal year number in 2022. So you do 1 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. And that equals a number 11 because January 4th is 1 and then 4 and then 2, 2, 2, and that equals 11, right? So you wouldn't break this number down further because master number 11 is its own entity, but you can also look at it as a number 2, but master number 11 is also a different sort of cycle. So if you do end up getting the number 11, you do not break this number down further. This has its own special meaning. And again, you guys can skip ahead towards the timestamps. There's going to be timestamps linked down below for all the different meanings of the personal year numbers, including number 11. So I'll have those linked down below. So if you guys want to calculate your personal year number and then skip ahead to the meaning of that particular number, I'll leave all those timestamps down below that you guys can just click on and skip ahead. So without further ado, let's hop right into the meanings of these numbers. All right, so if you guys have a personal year number of number 1, this has a planetary association with the sun and the zodiac sign of Leo. So this is all about a brand new beginning. 1s are all about a new beginning. Obviously, they're the start of the cycle. So this is the birth of a new cycle. This is a birth of a new you. It's very much calling you to be a pioneer, to do something new, to start something new, to almost revamp your entire image of who you are, to rewrite who you are. And so the challenges that somebody might face in this year, if you are resisting change or you're resisting a new self, you're trying to hold back onto the past too much, you'll notice struggle in this year because this year is a time where you're supposed to let go of the past. You're supposed to let go of the old you and sort of remake a brand new you. It's a year full of huge creativity, huge inspiration, especially if you're following something new, doing something new. And again, letting go of the past. The 1 year is the year where you're supposed to be in a new energy. You're supposed to be focusing on creating something new, being an original person, not following in other people's footsteps necessarily, but kind of just creating your own path is what number 1s are supposed to do. If you draw inspiration from other people, that's fine, but number 1s are supposed to be at the head of the game, the beginning of the game, the leaders. And so you're supposed to be stepping up into more of a leader position this year and stepping into your power, stepping into a brand new you. There's sometimes that certain people can find number 1 years lonely. Sometimes it doesn't always mean that, but some people can find that they're just very much self-focused this year. Again, it is very correlated to the sun and Leo. So this can be a more self-focused year, although sometimes Leo deals with other people, but in this case, when we're dealing with numerology, This is more of the ego, the self. What do I want? It's a very much you year where you're asking yourself the big questions. What do I want? What do I want to create? How am I going to do that? It's time to focus on me and my dreams and my goals and kind of create a brand new world, focusing on what is your next dream going to be, because that means in the previous cycles, we've kind of closed out the old chapters, we've closed out the old desires, the old wants, and we're sort of creating a brand new you who has a different philosophy of life. You've learned so much. When you're in this year, it means you've learned so much from your past and that you're really creating a brand new self, a brand new you. So this is what the personal year number of number 1 is. And let's talk about personal year number 2. If you are in a number 2 year, this is a year that's all about partnerships, connecting. It can be a year where a lot of people find love or a deeper partnership, a deep friendship, because it is all about like a very deep connection of some sort. This can also be a business partnership, and it can also be connecting to your dreams. It can be finding the right path to your dreams, because the year number 1 was all about defining what are those dreams, what is the new step I want to take, what is the new me. Number 2 is about the connections that are important for that. Number 2 is about finding the right people in your life. And it's also about making the connection to whatever your goals are and seeing how you can make that connection, how you can actually go and get it, how you can actually achieve it. Number 2s are about achievement and the connections, the proper connections that you need for those achievements. And since number 2 is also about duality, this is also about finding balance in your life. So not overworking yourself and not, spending too much time doing la da 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 da. This is about finding the proper balance in your life between fun and work, between your personal self and giving to other people. How much time are you giving to yourself versus how much time are you spending and giving towards other people? This is about finding the proper balance. Are we focusing too much on our external world and not taking care of our internal world enough, like our mind, our spiritual health, our emotional health? Are we focusing too much out here and not enough in here? The number 2 year is about finding balance between yourself, the external world, balance of you plus another person, the balance of your overall world. And you'll find challenges in the number 2 year when it comes to finding this balance, creating this balance. And you'll notice certain challenges arise in this year that help bring awareness to where we might not have a lot of balance in our life and where we need to focus on to bring out more balance in our life. So every numerological year has its particular challenges that come along with it, but these challenges are actually our gifts to find and master these cycles and these numbers, okay? So number 2 is all about that, and it is ruled by the moon, which is the zodiac sign of Cancer. And so this is all about your emotions, your internal world, listening to your intuition some more. It's also all about like emotional connection, creating beautiful connections on this planet, and also finding proper balance. So that is what the number 2 year is all about. The personal year number of 3 is ruled by the planet of Jupiter, and it is the zodiac signs of Sagittarius and Pisces. And the number 3 year is all about expansion, expression, communication, celebration, fun, enjoyment, achievement. There's so much that goes along in a number 3 year, and number 3 years are mostly all about having fun. I noticed that number 3 years are very much about celebration, celebrating big things, having fun. It is also a number of love and connection in that way as well. It's also the number of learning, enjoyment, focusing on what is my fantasy reality, because that's the Pisces energy. So what is the fantasy reality that you have for yourself, and how are we going to expand into that? How are we going to enjoy ourselves along the way? So instead of always working so hard, this is more about the year of enjoyment. I want to enjoy myself. I want to have fun. I want to make beautiful connections with people. I want to deepen those connections. I want to learn better communication. I want to make better friends that really correlate with me. I want to have fun business partnerships. This is a year number of having fun, and expanding into that, and also expanding your dreams. So now we're walking down the path of our dreams. Whereas in the number 2 year, we were making the proper connections for that. The number 3 year is about sprinkling it with fun and also starting to walk down that actual path and expanding yourself towards your goal, expanding your mind, expanding how you think, expanding possibility, expansion in so many different ways. So that is what this year is all about. If you're feeling unexpansive, if you're feeling like fear is standing in your way, this is a year that is going to challenge you to break out of fears. This is a year that's going to challenge you to express more, to actually talk about your ideas, to actually put your ideas out there, to get them out there. To reveal what you've been working on, to reveal your biggest goals, to define what that fantasy looks like for you, and to start moving towards that, and to, just basically put it out there. And so it's going to be challenging you in those ways. If you have fears around putting yourself out there, if you have fears around enjoying yourself, if you have fears around expansion, this is a year that's going to challenge you to get over that and to actually move into an expansive mindset, to move into having fun and enjoying yourself, to move into actually expressing your talents and, again, putting yourself out there. So that is what the number 3 year is all about. All right, so now let's talk about the personal year number 4. This number is also ruled by the sun and the zodiac sign of Leo. This one is all about your foundation. We've previously found our path and we've found our expansion, but now it's time to set a foundation, because when we don't set a foundation, things can get a little bit out of hand. And we're noticing in the number 4 year that we need to have a better foundation. This is when we're going to start to hunker down and make more schedules for ourselves. This is when we're going to start probably putting a lot of effort into our work and to make a very solid foundation where we feel secure, we feel safe. We're not scared about our finances. We're not scared about our living situation or our work or anything like that. This is the year where we desire to find balance. And so challenges might come up in this area in order for you to create balance and foundation and harmony in this area. This area does deal with home life, but more in the way of we need to make it safe and secure. We need to have a proper foundation that's going to last. We're thinking really about the future now. What does our future look like? What can we do in the present moment to have and secure ourselves a better future? That's what number 4 is about. And it's also creating something that's long lasting. So this is a year where we're focusing on how can we create a sustainable, long lasting life and find the balance in our career, our job, our home security and things like that. So you might notice challenges arising in these areas if you don't currently have that, or if we're not currently focused on that. You might notice that certain challenges financially arise in this year, or certain challenges within your foundation, within your home safety and security arise in this year, because this year is where you're supposed to be focusing on making it solid. So anything that is not currently solid is going to bring about certain challenges that bring our awareness towards fixing these, so that we can create a very solid foundation for ourselves that's very long lasting. This also focuses on willpower, determination. Do you have what it takes to make it happen? A lot of people find themselves overworking themselves in the year 4 because certain challenges, of course, arise that bring about certain fears around safety and security and money and things like that. And so a lot of people find themselves overworking in this year. Or sometimes even underworking because of certain fears that come up, right? So depending on what side of the spectrum you're on and what kind of challenges that you're facing, the lessons that you're supposed to be learning this year is willpower and determination and strength. So do you have the strength to make it happen? Do you have the willpower to do it and to push it forward? And do you have the determination to do it no matter what obstacles that you reach, no matter what challenges that you reach? This is the year that brings about the challenges that will harden you into the person that has the willpower, that has the determination, that has the strength to make their dreams happen. That is this year. And some people notice that these years can be very challenging especially when it comes to those different things, because this is the year where the energy of the world is like, we either make it or break it this year. So what are you going to do? Do you have what it takes? Do you have what it takes? That's what year number 4 is. That's how I look at year number 4. But it also offers, if you do it right, if you prove that you have the strength and the willpower and the determination, this year will be very beneficial for you and very successful, because you will be building the foundation of a very long-lasting, secure life with secure finances, secure career life, and just secure overall well-being and everything. This is the year of proving that and doing that and reaping the benefits of that, because right when you do it, right when you surpass these obstacles in these certain year numbers, that is when you reap the benefits of that year number. That is when you get the gifts and the blessings of that year number. So if you can prove that you have that vitality and the willpower and determination, you will reap the rewards of safety and security and a foundation that is unwavering, that will last all the storms, right? So that is what the year number 4 is all about. And so next, let's talk about the personal year number 5. So the personal year number 5 is ruled by the planet of Mercury, and it is associated with Gemini and Virgo. So this year is all about unexpected changes coming in. And usually I notice in year number 5s, if you are somebody who's not open to change, that is when you're going to notice the most challenges of this year, because number 5 is very much like changes are inevitable, changes are here, they are coming, and it's time to just go with the flow of them. Gemini and Virgo are both very quick-minded signs, so this is a time of when you are going to notice that your mind is racing a lot. It is going in all sorts of different directions, probably thinking about this and this and this and this. It is a year where multitasking is probably going to be a very big theme of that year, is multitasking, lots of stuff going on, but it is also a year of learning, and these shifts and changes that happen in this year can work so much to your benefit in so many ways, because this also helps steer you onto unexpected, beautiful paths as long as you go along with it and you learn the lessons of the year number 5. This will bring you towards the most unexpected, beautiful places, because unexpected surprises can be extremely good, or they can also be challenging and hard. So it really depends which side of the spectrum that you're on. You'll probably face a little bit of both in the year number 5, as one always does, because there's certain challenges that of course come along with every year life path, and there's certain blessings that also come along with it. So the challenges of year number 5 is breaking free of old habits, routines, and patterns that no longer serve us. So it's time for you to break free of those. If you do not break free, then you will kind of be forced to break free of them, for lack of better words, because the universe looks at what no longer is serving you, and the universe is like, okay, it's time to get rid of that. So either you can do it on your own and think to yourself like, oh, it's really time for me to get rid of this old habit, this old routine that I know is no longer good for me or is no longer serving me, or the universe is going to be like, I'm going to bring out an unexpected situation that gets rid of it for you. And usually those are quite chaotic, I'll say, for year number 5. The certain unexpected things can be chaotic if we're not going along with the flow of it ourselves. You will have certain intuitions that tell you, I really need to stop eating unhealthy, or I really need to stop, this bad habit of smoking or drinking, or whatever the case may be, or getting rid of toxic people in your life that you need to get out of. The year number 5, when you're in that, you're going to be getting the intuitions that it's time to get rid of and break free of those old things, those old habits, patterns, and routines. It is time to get rid of them. Otherwise, the universe is literally just going to be like, well, here's a circumstance that'll make you have to get rid of it, because that is the year where you're supposed to be doing that. So either you can do it on your own free will, the universe is going to make it happen for you anyway. So that is the year number 5, but it also comes along with so many blessings, because again, the unexpected shifts also come along with huge blessings. So this is unexpected money coming in. This is also unexpected, amazing blessings happening. This is kind of like when we're dreaming about a dream. Maybe we have our dream business in mind and we're going towards that. The year number 5 can also bring about the biggest blessings to where we're like, I couldn't even pictured something so good. I couldn't have even pictured something so great. Or if we're trying to manifest, the love of our life, this is the year where also the unexpected happens, and maybe we all of a sudden meet the love of our life, but they're 10 times better than what we could have ever pictured, right? So this is a year where unexpected things are happening, but as long as we're going with the flow and shedding the old, this is when the gifts start to come into the unexpected, beautiful gifts. But we need to start shedding the old things and making those changes and breaking free. This is a year of breaking free. Number 5 years, breaking free. Listening to those small intuitions, taking on those small little tasks. This is also working on your communication, changing up your routine, focusing on self-development. How do I want to change? What kind of changes do I see myself going through? It is time to make certain changes in your life and go through with those changes, because those changes are also going to bring you the biggest blessings, okay? So that is the year number 5. Now let's talk about the personal year number 6. This is a year all about harmony, family life, love. It is a great year for love, in fact. A lot of people find that they either get into a major relationship, or they get engaged or married in a year number 6, or they just have like a major family thing going on, like welcoming in a new family member, or like buying a home, all sorts of things like that. Buying a home is also associated with a year number 4, or moving and things like that, but it is also associated with the number 6, because it's all about family life and harmony and major things happening within your interpersonal relationships in your life and things like that. So this is a year where you guys get into harmony. This is also a great year for focusing on music, fun things, stuff that makes you feel like you're in balance and in harmony with yourself. So this is about finding enjoyment, balance, peace, serenity, grace, love, self-love, love for others, like love in your whole life. Because before we were breaking free, the number 5 year, which was the previous year, is all about breaking free of old habits, routines, and things like that. It is the year of shifts, major changes, breaking out of old molds. Number 6 is about we've finally broken out of all of the old things that were holding us back. We've now created balance and harmony. So number 6 is all about creating that balance and harmony, finding what we need to bring into our life to create the new balance and harmony that we are craving, that we're needing, that we're wanting. So the number 6 year is about creating that beautiful balance and harmony in your own life. And maybe that means that you are finding balance and harmony in your work. Maybe that means you're finding balance and harmony within a major relationship in your life. It is ruled by the planet of Venus and is associated with Libra and Taurus, which brings out the relationship aspect of it, but also the personal comfort of Taurus. Taurus wants to be comfortable in harmony and balanced. They want to feel like that. They don't like feeling uncomfortable. Taurus does not like feeling uncomfortable. They will do anything in their power to feel comfortable and satisfied. So the year number 6 is about finding what makes me satisfied, what makes me comfortable. How can I find more balance in my relationships? How can I welcome in relationships that make me feel so good and so balanced and so harmonized? And how can I start to connect with that deeper? This is about deeper connection, all the Venus energy, which is enjoying the luxuries of life. This is about enjoying the love in life. This is self-love. This is a year of beautifying everything too. A lot of people either redecorate their home in a year like this, or they even look at themselves and do a whole revamp on themselves. This is about beautifying your environment, beautifying yourself, your personality, your life in general, making things more beautiful, making things more comfortable, making things feel more balanced and in harmony in your relationships, in your work, in your life, and all that kind of jazz. So it's a very major year for things like that. And you'll notice certain challenges may arise within your family, within your interpersonal relationships, because this is about dealing with certain problems that are keeping us from harmony. And so certain challenges will arise in areas of our life where we need to work on harmonizing, where we need to work on finding balance. We need to work on giving more love and being more comfortable. So certain challenges will arise, but it's in order to bring you back to comfortability, balance, and harmony in those areas that they will be arising in. So that is what the number year, personal year number 6 is all about. All right, and then let's talk about the personal year number 7. This is a huge year. This is a very deep year as well. This is all about spiritual growth, spiritual development, self-development. This is a year that I refer to as the hermit year or the philosophy year, the growth year, because a lot of people going through a year number 7, a personal year number 7, will be very focused on their inward self. What do I believe in? What are my philosophies? I want to learn. This is a huge learning year where a lot of people crave to know more, to learn more, especially by looking within too. And so certain people do find themselves very attracted to knowledge and wisdom in a year number 7, really attracted to learning and also becoming more of a teacher as well, because they're realizing that, wow, I've learned a lot so far, and let me reflect on that. Let me really integrate my previous lessons. Like the year number 7 is about integrating previously learned lessons and going even deeper into them, realizing how much more depth has been there all along. So this is a very deep learning year in a year number 7. This is when we become aware of so many things that we were unconscious about. We become aware of, why did I have to go through those challenges in the year number 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1? Why did I have to go through all these crazy challenges? It doesn't make any sense. Number 7 year is when we look within and we're like, oh wow, I'm so glad that happened. That was so important for me to learn that. You're sort of like realizing and integrating all of those lessons that were previously learned in the previous years. This is when we gain tons of wisdom. We become super wise in this year. You might notice a lot of people asking you for advice when you're in a year number 7. You also might notice yourself seeking out deeper learning. You might notice yourself wanting to be more recluse or alone in a year number 7, because this is very much about personal development, personal integration, character development, and wondering, what is my bigger philosophy of life? What is the meaning of life? What is my biggest purpose of life? What do I want to do with my life? What is my big purpose? What kind of impact do I want to have on this planet? It's hugely about, what kind of footprint do I want to leave behind? Who do I want to be? What is my destiny? You know, it's like a huge destiny, big philosophy type of number. And the personal year number 7 is ruled by the moon, which is the zodiac sign of Cancer. So it's associated with that. So it's very much an internal reflection. The moon is all about internal reflection, which makes it a very much hermit type of year. But it's very different from the year number 2, which is also associated with the moon. That one's more about the personal connections and personal relationships and the emotions coming out in that way. Whereas the year number 7, this is about more you. This is about you integrating your own emotions, your own intuition, your own psychic abilities, your unconscious. So this is, again, realizing the things that we were once unconscious about, all of the things that we didn't see or recognize in our previous lessons in all of the previous years that we've had, and finally seeing those and integrating those and having huge epiphanies. This is a huge epiphany year, and there's a lot of blessings that can happen in this year as well, in regards to psychic abilities, in regards to deeper understandings, massive epiphanies, becoming more of a teacher and a leader, finding your destiny. This is a huge year about finding your purpose, finding your destiny, and executing that, becoming the best version of you and developing yourself into that. So it's a very, very, very powerful year, and a lot of people notice that it can be challenging at times because, again, a lot of inner reflection and realizing a lot of unconscious stuff can be kind of shocking, and it can be kind of like, wow, it can be a little bit lonely at times because a lot of people desire to be hermit or recluse during these times, or will just find themselves in situations that force them to be a little bit more alone because it's all about internal reflection. The universe wants you to have time for internal reflection. So you might notice that certain friends are maybe falling out of your life, or maybe we're just not seeing them as often anymore because there's just a lot of internal reflection going on. So that is a year number 7. But again, it comes with tons of blessings. This is finding your purpose, finding your destiny, and huge self-development to where you become the best version of yourself. So that is the year number 7. And let's go ahead and talk about the personal year number 8. So going into the personal year number 8, this one is ruled by Saturn, which is associated with Aquarius and Capricorn. This is all about the climb and climbing to success. In a year number 8, you can actually find huge success. You can have the ability and possibility of making more money than you ever made ever in your life before. It is the year of promotions. It is the year of getting to the top, reaching huge, huge goals that we've had. This is a year of finally infinite potential. And it's funny because the number 8 is the infinity sign flipped sideways. And this is all about your infinite potential. There is infinite potential in year number 8, but it does come with some restriction because there is also the planet of Saturn that rules this area. So this can be a very challenging time, but it's challenging towards, can you reach your goals? Do you have what it takes to reach the top? And this is also about reaping what you sow. It's a year of karma. We just came out of the year number 7, and the year number 7 was all about integrating all of our old lessons and things like that. And number 8 is about, okay, now we can reap our karma. Have we given a lot? Have we proven that we have what it takes to reach our biggest goals? And have we gained enough strength and willpower? Have you gained the strength and the willpower and the determination to make it to the top? If you have, you will notice huge success in this year, but it's finally time to start implementing and integrating your willpower, your motivation, your determination, and all of that stuff. It's time to put your destiny and your purpose that you discovered in year number 7. It's time to do it. It's time to get out there and do it and dream big. Number 8 years are about dream big because this is the year of also unexpected big wins. A lot of people associate the number 8 with very good luck, and they kind of also associate it with gambling as well. It's very associated with gambling, like random good luck. So number 8, random good luck, but the random good luck only comes when we've kind of proven ourselves in the Saturn way, which is all about, do we have the willpower and determination? Are we climbing to the top? Do we believe in ourselves? Are we going to get there? And then if so, if we've proven that, and if we've proven that we have good intentions, since this year is also all about karma, the infinite potential unlocks. But we have to believe that we're worthy. We have to, break down the old stuff that we were becoming aware of that might have been holding us back. And we became aware of those things in the year number 7. We've started to become conscious of our unconscious limitations, of our unconscious self. And as long as we've, listened to our intuition and what we've learned in the previous year, this year is when you find the success. This is the good luck. This is, again, your infinite potential is being unlocked in year number 8. You can have huge wins this year. You can be super successful in business. This is a great year to start a business, to focus on reaching a huge goal. This is a great year for that. Whatever your big goal was, this is the year to do that. But it is also a year where we cannot focus on ego. We have to focus on the infinity of the world. This is also why it's associated with Aquarius. What are we giving to the world? Why do we deserve to win all of these big things? And why do we deserve to reach this success? Are we giving to the planet? Are we focusing on the big picture? What is the big picture reason why? Of course, you can enjoy money and success and big wins and all of that, but what is your big picture reason? Number 8 is, what is the big picture reason? Are you trying to help humanity, or are you trying to get rich quick? Because 8 is not about get rich quick. Number 8 is about, oh, here's your karma because you've been such a good soul with such great intention and you're focusing on big picture stuff. Well then, bam, there you go. Reap the benefits of all of that hard work. Here's some unexpected wins. Here's the universe blessing you. And, it's literally you reaping what you sow. It is reaping what you sow. So again, tons of huge possibility for success. There's infinite potential within the year number 8 to reach huge, unexpected success and reaching huge goals. So again, number 8 is really great for that, but it does come along with its challenges. You will meet certain restrictions. There's certain barriers, there's certain restrictions, but those are in the unconscious mind. Those are created by you. And so the crazy thing to learn in a year number 8 is we create our own limitations. If we don't feel like we deserve something, Saturn's going to be like, okay, well, that's your limitation. There's no real limitations here other than the ones that you put on yourself. Number 8 is about realizing that, and also realizing that you reap what you sow. Whatever you've sown up before in the previous years, you get to reap the benefits of that in the year number 8. So that is what the year number 8 is all about. Let's go ahead and talk about a year number 9. All right, so number 9 is the completion of the cycle. It is the last number in the 9-year cycle, other than master number 11, which is its own entity, so we'll talk about that after. But the year number 9 is essentially the closing out chapter. So this is when we're tying up loose ends. This is when we're wrapping things up. This is when we're having big reflection on, okay, I had these goals, this is what happened, this is what I've learned, and this is about us thinking about what do I want to do next, because we're approaching a year number 1 next. So in a year number 9, we are closing out all of the old stuff. This is a year where we have to think about, what do I want next? And if we're not open to that, if we're resisting change, if we're too stuck in the past, this is when we're going to face challenges in a year number 9, because we have to close out old chapters. We have to let go of things from the past. This is when we're having to tie up loose ends. This is when we're having to make amends with certain people. This is when certain amends have to be made so that we can move on with a clean slate. This is about clearing the slate. We have to clear our old karma in a year number 9. We have to clear out, all the stuff. A lot of people notice that they desire to be more minimal in a year number 9, that they desire to get rid of a lot of their material items in a year number 9. There's a lot of people that want and desire to be more minimal when going through a year number 9. Like, let's get rid of that, let's get rid of that. I want to have a minimal amount of things. And so it's a year of closing out old chapters. We're reaching a lot of our big goals. It is also a year of when we are attaining a lot of the things more easy, because we already went through the karma of year number 8 and all of the previous years. We've already dealt with that karma, so now we're able to welcome in, all of our big goals and sort of reach that, but then also think about, okay, well, I reached that. Now it's time for me to shed my old self. So this is all about shedding, completion, wrapping up, and tying up the last few finishing pieces on your last huge cycle. So what do we need to finish up? What lessons do we need to finish up learning? And how are we going to integrate that? And then because of that, because of all the new things that we've learned, because of all the new things that we've accomplished, because of that, it's going to transform you into a new person. Now it is time to think, what do I want next? Number 9 is not about staying the same person anymore. It's about thinking, what is the next chapter? What do I want next? What is that going to look like? It's kind of wondering, what is that? It's a very explorative year where we're letting go of the old, and now we get to explore and wonder about, what do I want to do next? It's also about taking responsibility for your past, accepting responsibility for your past, because you are the creator of your world. Nothing could have happened without you, right? So it's about taking responsibility and having a desire to progress into the new world, into your new life. This is also where a lot of new wisdom comes in, and it is very different from year number 7, because year number 7 is, the spiritual awareness, the spiritual reflection, the internal time of spirituality and the self, and integrating lessons. Number 9 is also about integrating lessons, but it's about after we've already achieved our greatest goals, or maybe we didn't achieve them in year number 8, and we're finally seeing why that was, and we're like, okay, how am I going to start this path again? How am I going to step back into this, and what am I going to learn now, and who am I going to be now? Who am I going to be? Okay, so we realized our purpose and destiny. We've accomplished a lot of things. We've realized a lot. And now we're wondering, okay, who am I going to be now? All of your lessons thus far in year number 9 have accumulated into creating a new you. You can look back on the 9 years of your life and be like, oh my God, I changed so much. I'm like a completely different person. And number 9 is about asking yourself, who is this new person? Who am I now? And this number is associated with the planet of Mars, which is the zodiac sign of Aries and Scorpio. And Aries is all about that new beginning energy, and Scorpio is all about endings and beginnings. So it makes total sense why this would be Mars. So Mars is all about the destruction of the old, letting go of the old, and rebuilding of the new. So taking action into the newness. So that's that Mars energy, taking action, and the destruction of the old, the letting go of the old. That Scorpio energy, let's break down the old. It's that transformation. You are now in the cocoon, growing those wings, and you're about to burst out with those wings that you now have into your new self, and your new chapter is going to be the butterfly instead of the caterpillar. The last 9 years of your life were the caterpillar stage, then you went into the cocoon for year number 9, so cocoon is like that metamorphosis cocoon type year, and then your next year is like now you're the butterfly. So you can see how that transformation looks, right? So that's like a great example to show how these cycles work. And in a year number 9, you're growing those wings and you're thinking, okay, who am I going to be now? And the realization that you are a new person. So number 9s are all about huge development and also deciding what first step you want to take next. And that is going to be the deciding factor of the next 9-year cycle of your life. So when you're in a year number 9, this is when you're tying up those loose ends, closing that old chapter, and dreaming about what you want to create in your future. And this is literally the opening of that door to figuring out what are the next 9 years going to be for me? What are the big goals that I have? What is that going to look like? Who am I entering that as? Because whoever you enter that next 9-year cycle as, that is going to affect how that next 9-year cycle goes. So the number 9s are very important, full of wisdom, full of huge transformation. So number 9s are incredible. And with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about master number 11. So if you guys find yourself in a master number 11 personal year, this is a year where there's tons of inspiration and creativity. This is when you are mastering certain old lessons, and this is also a self-mastery. So you're realizing, okay, how can I master this certain big idea or big project? Or this is also a year of huge creativity. And you'll notice that you're drawn to a lot of things. You're inspired by a lot of things. And this is because the universe is calling you to up-level yourself, to heighten your vibration, to heighten your energy, to heighten who you are overall, to heighten everything in your life, to heighten your talents. You'll notice that your talents get very heightened in a master number 11 year. But it also comes with its challenges, because in order to master something, we of course need to go through lots of different challenges that develop us into a master in these areas. So you'll notice certain challenges come up within your talents, within something that you love to do. There's a lot of challenges that might come up in this area. There might be a lot of challenges that come out in your relationships, in your career, in your work, all sorts of different places, but it's because this is a year where you're supposed to be mastering tons of different things, tons of different lessons, integrating them. This is also when huge manifestation can take place, and brand new beginnings, very important partnerships. This is just a very important year in general if you're going through a master number 11, but it's welcoming in huge amounts of inspiration, huge amounts of creativity, and heightening your vibration and your conscious level in all areas. This is a year where it's about all different areas of your life rather than focusing on relationships or rather than focusing on career. Master number 11 is about focusing on everything overall. It's going to be a year of focusing on everything. And it's a year when you're at a gateway, because 11s are the gateway. So it's like a gateway year of let's wrap up all of the things. Let's focus on everything in your life. We're going to have challenges in all sorts of different areas, but these challenges are also blessings. And I want you to remember that any time that there is a certain challenge within a certain year number, the challenges are secret blessings. So, for example, if we have a challenge within our creative field, maybe we have a creative career that we love to do, or a creative thing that we love to do. In a master number 11, for example, you might notice huge challenges come up with that. And you're like, wow, why am I noticing huge amounts of challenges creatively right now? Why am I facing so many challenges here? But it's because the universe is guiding you towards discovering something brand new. This is a doorway opening. So this is a year when you can discover huge brand new talents. This is when you discover your own personal creative ability, so you kind of make your own uniqueness in a master number 11. This is when you discover your uniqueness. So instead of, being a great artist or a great creative person who, is good at what they do, this is when you become a master and you find your uniqueness. So you're going to be faced with challenges that are like, oh, I don't know why I'm so bad at this now, and why isn't this working out for me, and I can't seem to paint something good, and I can't seem to write something good. That's because it wants to change the way that you are writing. It wants to change the way that you are being creative. It wants to change your talents a little bit so that you realize your own uniqueness instead of just doing it based on, how we were taught. Now you're going to discover something unique. So it's challenging you in order to kind of push you off your path a little bit so that you can discover a brand new path. So this is opening up a brand new doorway for you. It's realizing that there was a door hidden behind the mirror. Actually, the best way to explain the master year number 11 is if you have like a mirror hanging up on a wall and you're like, oh, that's just a mirror. It's just a mirror that I get ready in all the time. But master number 11 year is kind of realizing like, oh shit, and you're gonna realize that this huge storm comes in your house, it whips up everything around, and then you realize that the door has something behind it. And then you're like, or the mirror has something behind it, and you're gonna be like, oh wait, there's a door behind this mirror. This mirror was a door the whole time, I had no idea. But it's the storm that came through that whipped everything out of place that made you realize that the mirror was a secret door. It was a secret passageway. And then you're like, ooh, I get to go and explore that. So this is how it kind of shifts your path. Master number 11 is very powerful in that way. So if you're going through a master number 11 year, it does have its sort of challenging moments, but it's because it is helping you discover the secret to something. It is helping you discover a doorway, a hidden doorway towards developing yourself further and discovering your uniqueness and discovering, a brand new self, a brand new purpose and things like that. So it is a master number. It is uncovering the secret that nobody normally sees, that only you are supposed to discover and see. So hope that makes sense. And that is what the numerology is of your personal year numbers, and depending on what personal year number that you are currently going through, you will experience these different sorts of energies. We all experience them at some point in our life because, again, these happen in 9-year cycles, so you'll be, beginning a new cycle every 9 years, and sometimes you'll reach a master number 11 type of year, and we all go through them at different times. So that is what this video is. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below if you guys want to see more videos like this in the future. I have so much fun making these for you guys, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. And if so, then I'll see you in the next one, I guess. That was a very repetitive way to end this. But anyway, with that being said, sending you guys all my love, and I'll see you later.